Exclusive Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Chase Ward.
We are starting out partly cloudy. There's been a few clouds moving across the Arklatex area. We're not tracking anything on Doppler radar. There's no rainfall in the vicinity other than just moisture content that the radar's picking up. That's the current shade of green. But if you look back to the west, you can see some of those clouds, and the nearest storm activity is actually just north of Houston. We had some near Tyler and Longview, but that has long since phased out. The overall air mass in place hasn't changed. It's very, very warm and still very moisture rich. You can even see, looking at the upper levels in the water vapor imagery, there's plenty of moisture from the surface to the top of the atmosphere, which is something these storms will be able to feel off of again, as we have stayed unsettled for the past couple of days now. Now, temperatures still in the 70s across northeast Louisiana, but Montcel and Canada have already warmed to 82, and we're not too far away here in Monroe and even out to Russ and El Dorado at 78 and 79 degrees. All right, it's 840. These temperatures, they're going to be climbing quickly, and then by this afternoon, when the kids get out of school, we're looking to be seeing hazardous conditions, 100 to 101 degrees. That's just the actual air temperature. There will be a chance for some patchy storms, but not everyone's going to be guaranteed that. They're going to stay isolated, possibly further down to the south, where you can see Alexander, Natchez, even Vicksburg have slightly lower highs compared to everywhere else, especially to the north in Arkansas, where almost everyone is at risk of 100, 101, even 102 degrees for the actual air temperature. Now, with heat index getting over 110, between 113 and 115, extreme heat warnings have been issued for a decent chunk of the area. So just be careful, be smart. Even if you're just running errands, when you're getting off work or picking the kids up from school, you know, just walking across the parking lot just to go to the grocery store, it can be a little exhausting with that heat just radiating up from that asphalt. Now, tomorrow, temperatures could still push upper 90s. We won't see relief until possibly Thursday and Friday, because tomorrow is when we're expecting a front to arrive out of the north to provide some relief. So until then, like I said, just be safe today. Patchy storms possible south of I-20, and then on Wednesday afternoon, that's when this front will start to push on through. We'll start to have more of an established flow of winds out of the north, which helps us provide some relief that won't be felt until at least Thursday and Friday. But even tomorrow, once the storms pop up, that's when we start to feel a little bit change in the air. So today, notice most of the isolated activity is south of I-20, and just like it's been yesterday and the day before last, each of these storms that pop up have that gusty wind potential because it's just so much heat present, and also a lot of moisture as well. Now, more widespread activity will develop along the frontal boundary for tomorrow afternoon, so keep your umbrella handy. Cloud cover will also linger, but again, all that does is kind of help with that relief through Thursday and Friday. Now, Hurricane Aaron, it's currently just north of Bahamas, and it has kind of weakened a little bit. Max winds are 110 miles per hour. It was 135 about 2 hours ago. Now, as it tracks its way northward, it's going to stay out in the Atlantic. It's going to take a little curve there, so kind of dodging the east coast, especially the Outer Banks region of the Carolinas and even the Chesapeake Bay area. So some good news in that regard, but probably going to provide some choppy seas, though, just off the east coast. Now, looking back to the Atlantic, this is kind of in the wake of Aaron that moved across the Atlantic. We do have two systems we're watching in particular. One will be moving closer towards the Caribbean, and then there's another cluster of storms around the low off the coast of Africa, all of which we'll be watching in particular as we kind of progress out the week. But it comes as no surprise as we are diving deeper into the active part of the Atlantic season. Now, as we head towards the weekend, we'll be back to mid-90s, but temperatures might possibly fall back to lower 90s on Tuesday and Wednesday.